We'll move on. I wanted to ask you, first of all, Paul Pogba. I've spoke about this on camera, but it does look like he has taken testosterone. I did see a few of his fans kind of defending him, stating that it's some food that he's eaten. And again, genuinely, I don't know what food has testosterone in it. And that's a real genuine question. Maybe you know, I'm not too sure. But he's asked for the test results to be kind of dissected by experts to try and create a counterclaim. But a lot of people think that this is going to come back as it's right. There's too much testosterone in your body. They believe he has taken that drug. I mean, first of all, why do you think Paul Pogba has potentially done this?
Well, if you look at his career and the way it's gone, I think the last couple of years, due to injury and things at Man United and stuff, and the allegations with his brother and people trying to extortion money out of him, and that, I just don't think he's in a good place. I don't think he's in a good place off the pitch. I don't think he's in a good place on the pitch, because he's never on the pitch because he's always injured. So, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I wouldn't be surprised if, he's tried to accelerate his, recovery, or he's tried to give himself an edge or something, and it's just obviously backfired on him. But I think he's in a downward spiral. I don't think he's well liked at Juventus with the supporters now. I think they're thinking he's taking the piss. And it is what it is. Look, everyone's going to jump on you. As soon as you're guilty of anything, everyone jumps on your back. A lot of people don't know the facts. You see this a lot in different sports where somebody gets banned and then they have like an investigation, and then they get cleared and they find it was something else. So, it could be something else. It could be medication. You don't know, but it doesn't look good for the lad. It doesn't. This stage in his career, I know he's won a World Cup and things like that, but come on, the talent he had and the way he was, he should have had a lot more trophies in the cabinet. He should have done a lot.
Internationally, he's had a fantastic career. I would say at club level, based on his talent and how good he was, he's had a very disappointing club career. I'm just reading, someone sent me through the link. So, Paul Pogba has admitted to Juventus that he took some food supplements. So some of the quote tweets I read just said food, not knowing they contained testosterone that led to his positive drugs test and provisional 4-year ban. That's from Julien Laurence. Again, for me, though, not knowing it didn't have it in there is not a good enough excuse. That maybe he won't get a 4-year ban because of it. But if you're given a supplement, you have to be 100% sure. You can't, I need a pill to help with X, Y, and Z. If someone just gives you it, you've got to have full trust. And if it's your doctor or your nutritionist that's doing that, by proxy, that's still you at the end of the day. But I kind of agree with you. It's sad. I feel like Paul's body's letting down the last 3 to 4 years. The main reason I didn't want him to renew at United is because he wanted 450 grand a week. And I didn't see how we got enough gains out of him for that money due to his injuries. Barely kicked a ball since he left us. And I almost feel like there's an element here of, and I get it and understand it, like desperation to get back. And testosterone, by the way, like if you take this and enter, you can be like a 45, 50-year-old man, start taking testosterone. You can train like you're 25, 30 again. Like bodybuilders talk about this. That's just testosterone, not anabolic steroids and things like that, just by the increase of testosterone, because your body starts to lose it as you hit your early 30s. So I'm not, part of me isn't surprised to see this, maybe out of desperation. A lot of sprinters do it. A lot of athletes take performance enhancing drugs when they're struggling because they're so desperate to get back to the peak of their powers. But if he's proven guilty, being already 30, he ends up getting 4 years out. He may as well just retire. You would think, because what's he, 34 when he can kick a ball again? That's the end of him, surely.
Yeah. Like I say, his career's on a downward spiral. He came to Man United. He was on top of the world. He was winning things with Juventus, and we thought, wow, Paul Pogba's here. He's going to take the Premier League by storm. He's going to drag Man United to the big trophies. And he didn't. You know what I mean? He flattered to deceive. He wasn't consistent enough. And you got his fanboys, and they all what talk about him. But at the end of the day, he won't be going down in Man United as a Man United legend. He won't be going down in history as doing anything special at Manchester United Football Club. He'll just be going down as a waste of time. And at the end of the day, they let him go for free. They bought him back for 100 million, then they let him go again for free. So, yeah, I feel sorry for him if he's took something he shouldn't have took. But when you're a professional footballer and you've been in the game a long time, you have your own doctor, you have your own nutritionists who tell you what to do. So I don't know. But listen, no one's asked. It's Paul Pogba. He's gone from these shores. He won't be remembered for anything he did on these shores. And he's probably better off retiring and going to LA and playing basketball like he used to do when he couldn't be asked at United. So, yeah, just whatever.
I hear what you're saying there. Tad here says Pogba had all the ability and talent to become a Hall of Fame player. Instead, he just ended up nothing more than a trademark, big, wasted talent. Yeah, look, I think in French football, because of what he did and how good he was at the World Cup they won, I think he'll be remembered. But as I say, at club level, look, he won some trophies at Man United in that first season, scored in, a European final for us. I have fond memories of him. He came for our academy. I'll remember him. But in terms of what I expected him to deliver for my club, it didn't happen. And I do read a lot that we should have built a team around him. I think we tried to. I think we tried to. We might have bought players that didn't quite work. But he played with some other good midfielders. He played with some good players around him as well. He was part of the reason that we failed, though. The same as Alexis Sanchez was part of that reason, and Donny van der Beek's been part of that issue, and Maguire's part of the issue, and Fellaini, and so many players that we have bought, Di Maria, Falcao, that we've bought that have never fulfilled their potential. And I think what really irks me at the minute with a lot of United fans, and there's a lot of issues at our club, is they attack the less talented players more than they do the more talented players who didn't deliver either. It's almost like McTominay will get more hate than a Pogba, will get more hate than a Falcao, will get more hate than a who else? Alexis Sanchez. But how can the expectation on Scott McTominay be as high as the expectation of players with the ability of Pogba's and Sancho's and Alexis Sanchez's? It's weird. It's a warped way of kind of looking at the world. Terry, you had Pogba playing DM. Yeah, look, he did play there sometimes. There's no doubt. But he also had many, many games where he played in a far more advanced role. He had some really good periods for the club, but he didn't deliver consistently enough. He just didn't do it consistently enough. And some of it, I will look at the manager and go, yes, systems, etc., etc. But then it didn't kill everybody. Didn't kill everybody off. And again, if we're going to use the managers as the reason that Pogba didn't make it, I don't want to see any slander towards any player. Because if Pogba didn't make it, and Sancho hasn't made it, and I don't know, Zlatan didn't make it in people's eyes, and Falcao and Cavani, if that's all because of the manager's tactics and the system and what the players that were around them, how are we attacking the less talented players and blaming them? When if the more talented players struggle because of the system, wouldn't a less talented player struggle even more? Again, the arguments, Maradon, don't make sense to me. Wasn't Pogba a commercial signing for Joel Glazer? There was an element of that, but he was highly talented and should have delivered more. I don't think it's not a good enough excuse to just say, well, he was a commercial signing, so therefore we didn't need him to deliver. He had to. It's as simple and as straightforward as that for me.